for millions. Heavy snow spreading from Minnesota to Michigan, causing accidents and spinouts, even shutting down I-94. Now that fast-moving storm barreling across the country, the new flooding fears, and the bitter cold about to bear down on millions.
Impeachment showdown. As he braces for public hearings to begin, President Trump blasts the impeachment inquiry overnight. And new reports his Attorney General William Barr refused to hold a press conference to publicly clear the president's name.
Speaking out. Relatives of the American family ambushed in Mexico, inviting our cameras into their home, revealing new details about that deadly attack in the new video of baby Faith, the moment she was found, how she survived the deadly assault in her car seat.
New clue, Natalie Holloway's mother joining the fight to find missing 19-year-old Anaya Blanchard. And the hunt right now for this man, spotted on surveillance camera.
First on GMA, the interview with the girl in the middle of that adoption scandal accused of being a 22-year-old posing as a child and terrorizing her family. She's speaking out for the first time to Dr. Phil.
Did you ever stand at the foot of their bed, around their bed, in their room, watch them sleep with a knife in your hand?
And Dr. Phil is here live this morning.
And underwater wonder, the stunning new footage of killer whales from above and below the surface, the mother and calf, the barrel roll, and what it reveals.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. Hope you're doing well this Thursday morning. That is some fascinating footage.
And not only is it fascinating, it's also beautiful, and we're going to tell you why it's really helpful to scientists. We'll tell you that coming up.
One of my favorite animals right there. But first, we're going to begin with that winter blast buried down right now on the Midwest, heading for the Northeast. Already bringing half a foot of snow to some areas and a deep freeze with it. Ginger starts us off with the latest. Ginger, good morning. I almost cried saying those words to you.
And I almost cried telling you what I'm about to show you. So it really was 3 to 6 inches of fast snow that came from Mount Pleasant, Michigan, we were seeing right there, shutting down highways back to Wisconsin and causing series of accidents in Minnesota. But it's the astounding cold that'll take us 20 to 30 degrees below average and reach in some parts as far south as Texas that you'll really notice behind all of this. Up to a half foot of snow forcing wrecks from Minnesota through Wisconsin. Interstate 94 in Milwaukee shut down for a time thanks to record daily snow of 3 inches.
Truck was sitting right there and they were on the side of it trying to change the tire. Car came along, kaboom.
At least one of those crashes was fatal, taking the life of a 38-year-old Milwaukee man. Semi-trucks losing control. This pickup truck smashed.
In my 5-minute drive, I saw like 3 people in the ditch. It was hectic. It was crazy.
And this police SUV towed away after a driver slammed into it on the slick roads.
We're thankful the other car that struck the squad, he's okay as well. So that's all good news. Metal is a lot easier to fix than people.
And just east of Rapid City, South Dakota, a car lost control and plowed into the back of a school bus. Thankfully, no one was hurt there. So let me time this all out for you. Go ahead and show you what's going to happen. The cold air is represented by the streamlines that are in blue here, but see the warm air? We're going to be in the 50s today, all that orange. But watch the blue, that blue area, that represents 32 degrees. This starts at noon, and from noon till 7 a.m., the entire state of New York is taken over by sub-freezing temperatures. So 7 a.m. tomorrow, you're all freezing. You add that wind, and the wind chill will feel like 18, say, in Albany by tomorrow morning. I know that our friends at News 10, Jess Briganti, she is all over this, and she will be covering it. But a lot of meteorologists are going to be covering it because look how deep this goes, guys. By early next week, we put on here Tuesday morning, polar air sinks all the way to make Dallas feel like 21, George, and freezing.
Thank you, Ginger. We're going to go to Washington now and the latest on the impeachment showdown. Democrats stepping up the pressure on President Trump, announcing the first public hearings next week and releasing the testimony of a key witness detailing a quid pro quo with Ukraine. Our senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega is tracking it all. And Cecilia, we're also learning that the president asked Attorney General Barr to hold a press conference and clear the president of wrongdoing.
Yeah, Bill Barr didn't actually go through with this request to hold this press conference on television and basically clear the president's name. But, George, this just seems to be the latest example of President Trump attempting to use the Justice Department for his own personal gain. Overnight, President Trump fired up about impeachment.
It's all a hoax. It's a scam.
And this morning, ABC News has learned the president so frustrated by the controversy, he asked that Attorney General William Barr hold a press conference to clear his name and say he broke no laws in that now infamous phone call with Ukraine. It happened in September when the White House released its summary of that call. Sources say Barr declined the request. In recent weeks, the president has mentioned Barr's refusal to associates, saying he wished the attorney general would have followed his wishes. Overnight, President Trump lashing out on Twitter, calling the story totally untrue.
But while we are delivering safety and prosperity for Americans, the radical left Democrats are trying to rip our nation apart.
It comes as Democrats now plan to take their case directly to the American people, calling on key witnesses to publicly testify next week. The top American diplomat to Ukraine, Bill Taylor, up first. His closed-door testimony now made public as well. Taylor telling lawmakers the president outsourced Ukraine policy to his personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani. Taylor saying it was his, quote, clear understanding that Ukraine would not receive military aid until they agreed to investigate the president's political rivals. Taylor laying out a quid pro quo, but Republicans still struggling to mount a defense for the president. And you heard the president there overnight out there on the campaign trail sounding confident, saying that impeachment will basically backfire on Democrats and give him a boost in 2020. But we now know the White House is beefing up for this impeachment, bringing on two of the president's allies to its team. George, their job is going to basically be to fight this fight in the public.
Right. And Cecilia, we also have some news from the president's first attorney general, Jeff Sessions, set to announce today that he's going to run for his old Senate seat in Alabama, and so many eyes now on President Trump and the White House because he had such a tumultuous relationship with Sessions.
Exactly. And George, this announcement is going to come on the 1-year anniversary of the day that Sessions was fired as Attorney General. You'll remember the president was not happy, livid, in fact, that Sessions recused himself from the Mueller probe. He has called Sessions a disaster, a disgrace, and the biggest mistake of his presidency. So, George, while Sessions might enjoy some popularity back in Alabama, not so much here at the White House.
We'll see what that means in the primary. Okay, Cecilia, thanks very much.
And, George, as Cecilia noted, those public televised hearings in the impeachment showdown begin next week. Senior national correspondent Terry Moran is there on Capitol Hill with a look at what we can expect. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Robin. There's no greater drama here on Capitol Hill than public hearings on the impeachment of a president. They're part spectacle, part search for evidence, and part partisan warfare. And the stakes could not be higher for President Trump and for our country.
Democrats are lining up their witnesses for next week's impeachment hearings.
Well, now the American people will hear from them.
Public hearings.
Public impeachment hearings.
And they're keeping an eye on the millions of Americans who will tune in to watch.
Those open hearings will be an opportunity for the American people to evaluate the witnesses for themselves, but also to learn firsthand about the facts of the president's misconduct.
Under the rules passed by the House last week, those first rounds of public hearings starting next Wednesday will be held by the House Intelligence Committee to lay out the evidence. Democratic Chairman Adam Schiff, a former prosecutor, is planning to keep it tight. Just a handful of witnesses in several hearings over the next few weeks. And under the rules, Democrats can block any Republican subpoenas. Republicans, including Senator Lindsey Graham, are railing at the process.
The whole process is a joke. I'm not buying into Schiff running a legitimate operation over there.
During the Bill Clinton impeachment,
I was called upon to give you my judgment.
The only major witness was independent counsel Ken Starr, the prosecutor. This time, people inside the Trump administration will be called to testify, and White House lawyers will be able to make their case and cross-examine witnesses. Schiff's committee will then write a report summarizing the evidence and turn it over to the Judiciary Committee under Democratic Chairman Jerry Nadler. And then the Judiciary Committee will draft articles of impeachment. Those are the actual charges against Trump. Abuse of power, Democrats say, will be at the top of the list, and they'll vote. A solemn moment in the Richard Nixon impeachment. Some members struggled to control their emotions.
Mr. Rodino.
Aye.
I remember watching that moment as a kid. Well, we can clear up some confusion about the word impeachment. If the House of Representatives votes by a simple majority to impeach the president, that does not mean the president is removed from office. It means there'll be a trial in the Senate, and only if 2/3 of the senators vote to convict would the president be removed, something Americans have never done. George?
Many steps to go. Okay, Terry, thanks very much. And of course, we're going to have live coverage of the impeachment hearings. They start at 10 a.m. Eastern next Wednesday. Michael.
All right, thank you, George. We're going to turn now to new developments in that deadly ambush on an American family in Mexico. Officials are blaming drug cartels for the assault, but there are new questions about whether the family was targeted. Our chief national affairs correspondent, Tom Yamas, spoke with some of their relatives who took him inside their compound. Good morning, Tom.
Michael, good morning. This horrific incident no doubt has drawn a red line for several of the American families that live out here. In fact, this road that we're on right now, this is a major pipeline for the cartels to take drugs from Mexico right into the U.S., and this is one of the only roads in and out of this community. So as some of the families think about leaving, others are vowing to stay, but today they will all be united at 2 funerals for several of the victims.
Overnight, Mexican military and police forces guarding the Mormon compound where members of that American family took off from just before they were gunned down by a drug cartel.
So much more awful than any of us could have imagined.
Kendra Miller, the bride-to-be, it was her wedding in just days the family was gathering to celebrate. Now, they're planning funerals set for later today. The family convinced their 9 relatives, including 6 children, were gunned down to spark a new battle in an ongoing war between drug gangs.
So you're saying your family was used as pawns?
Yes. The Chihuahua cartel used our 3 women and all the children as a provocation to start a war between them and the Sonora.
Investigators still don't know who exactly is responsible for the vicious ambush. Mexican officials think drug traffickers mistook the family's SUVs as rivals traveling through this narco-infested section of northwest Mexico. The Americans, who are Mormon fundamentalists, have been in this area decades before the cartels took over. We were invited into the family's compound, and what you notice immediately are all the children.
A lot of Americans are going to say, why did you guys stay living here with all this drug violence surrounding you?
Well, there's a lot of goodness around us too. I mean, there's the people around us. There's beautiful people. There's thugs around us, but most of the people are good people.
Julian Lebaron, a relative, was tasked with finding the families after they realized something had gone wrong. He discovered one of the mothers, Christina Langford's SUV. He says she was sprawled out on the road dead with 2 gunshot wounds in her heart. And in the passenger seat, her baby named Faith. Julian shot this video when he found the infant.
There was a bullet hole through the canopy on the car seat, and we opened the canopy, and the baby was smiling at us. And so we found the baby, and underneath the car seat, there was 2 more bullet holes.
And now we're also learning 13-year-old Devin Blake Langford wasn't the only hero. The boy trekked for 14 miles after his family's car was attacked, his siblings bleeding from gunshot wounds. When he didn't return quickly, his 9-year-old sister, Mackenzie, set out as well, walking for several hours. When the family found her, she said, "My brothers are hurt. They need help."
Mexican officials have been in and out of this area for several days now, and there's a large military presence, but still no arrest. And the family isn't confident anything's going to happen anytime soon. As they told us directly yesterday, the cartels run this part of the country. George?
Such a dangerous situation. Okay, Tom, thanks very much. We're going to turn now to that security scare at Twitter. Federal prosecutors have accused 2 former employees of manipulating the social media platform to spy for Saudi Arabia. Our Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas is in Washington with the details. Good morning, Pierre.
George, good morning. It's a deeply disturbing story. Allegations of compromised Twitter employees willing to access and steal the private information of users who are seen as critics of the Saudi government, which the CIA has accused of assassinating a Washington Post journalist.
Twitter now part of so many lives, a place to share that users hope will be safe, protected. But this morning, accusations by federal prosecutors that a Saudi official bribed 2 former Twitter employees to spy on users. The alleged targeted users, critics of the Saudi government, and accusations of bribes involving hundreds of thousands of dollars.
The wake-up call here is not only for Twitter, but for the other platforms to up their game in their personnel screening, to up their game in their cybersecurity.
The information potentially accessed includes addresses, phone numbers, emails, dates of birth, and access to the postings of users. Former Twitter employee Ahmad Abu Omo was arrested in Seattle this week, accused of accessing the Twitter profile of a prominent critic of the royal family who has more than 1 million followers. Another suspect in the case, Ali Al-Zabara, an engineer at Twitter, allegedly accessed the private data of users en masse, accused of collecting information on more than 6,000 users, including at least 33 who were the target of Saudi Arabian law enforcement officials.
Twitter has released a statement saying, in part, quote, "We recognize the links bad actors will go to try and undermine our service. We understand the incredible risk faced by many who use Twitter to share their perspectives with the world and to hold those in power accountable. We're committed to protecting those who use our service to advocate for equality, individual freedoms, and human rights." Guys?
All right, Pierre, thank you. Now, what many Jeopardy fans have been waiting for, Jeopardy James is back in action after his more than $2 billion run earlier this year. TJ Holmes is here, and he did not disappoint.
Well, he disappointed if you're a fan of competitive matches. If this were football, it'd been over at halftime. If it was baseball, he had a 10-run lead going into the ninth. If it was hockey, you get the idea.
Yeah.
Okay, he's blowing people out, but Jeopardy James this time is blowing out fellow former champions.
Ooh.
James Holzhauer.
A fan favorite to some.
1,000.
Answer, daily double.
A big villain to others.
All in.
Answer, who is James Holzhauer? Yep, Jeopardy James is back, and he appears to be back to championship form.
James.
Competing in Jeopardy's Tournament of Champions, Holzhauer dominated the competition.
The Helix? What is Algeria? Was Helen Keller?
30,309 for you. The game is a runaways.
A professional sports gambler from Vegas, James became a sensation when he racked up $2.4 million in winnings over the course of a 32-game win streak earlier this year. During his amazing run, James won countless admirers, but also some detractors turned off by what they saw as ruthless betting calculations. We recently caught up with James just before the start of the tournament. Why come back? You were on such a high. Why did you have to come back for a Tournament of Champions?
It was a dream of mine since I was a kid to be on this show and competing, and now here's a second chance they're giving me, and I wasn't going to turn them down for that.
And get this, on Final Jeopardy, his wager was $326. $326. March 26th is his nephew's birthday. He's toying with us, Robin. He's toying with us, right?
Don't hate, appreciate.
I don't appreciate anything. No, but people have a problem because he bets aggressively. He starts without the $200. He goes with the $1,000 response. And
he bets on himself.
Well,
he believes in himself.
I'm not knocking the guy.
He's still got to come up with the answers.
I can't win with you guys, man. But again, he's going to compete again next week. And the woman who took him out on his streak, Emma, the librarian, he could see her in a rematch.
Ooh.
So that could come up. Everybody's going to be watching. Jeez, rough crowd. What's today? Thursday? When did the Saints lose last night?
Don't even put that out to the universe. We're following a lot. Thank you, TJ. Following a lot of other stories this morning. Ooh, just thinking about that, including the search for 19-year-old Anaya Blanchard. Why Natalie Holloway's mom is joining the race to find that young woman, and the new clue, that person of interest right there.
And Dr. Phil is here live with an amazing story. The interview with that girl at the center of an adoption nightmare. That's first on GMA. Right now, we're going to go back to Ginger.
You know, we've already had 2 to 4 inches of rain in the Ozarks in eastern Oklahoma. Tulsa to Fayetteville, Arkansas still have flood threat here this morning and through the early afternoon. Then the rain is on the coast, but snow interior. You could end up with 3 to 6 inches in some of the mountainous areas there through tomorrow. Your local weather in 30 seconds. First, the wind chill forecast sponsored by Macy's.
When I grow up, I want to be Santa.
You can't be Santa. You're a girl.
Santa Claus has come to town. Having trouble?
Happy holidays! Where's your beard, Santa?
Virginia, come with me. I want to show you something.
Let's go, Santa. We've got work to do.
Dry on area roads this morning, but we will have some showers developing after about 4 or 5 o'clock once the sun goes down. So dark there with some showers coming through later today. 40s to 50s through your morning hours. Lunchtime, 60 degrees to 63, and probably the last day for a while it's going to be this mild. Temperature tomorrow, 45 degrees with wind chill temperatures starting out in the 20s, 30s during the afternoon, and a pretty nice Veterans Day weekend. 58 degrees with sunshine on Sunday, Monday, 61.
Right, take it like a man. Take it like a man. How dare you speak ill of my Saints?
I wasn't ill. I just was worried about you, Rob.
We'll be right back.
Performance comes in lots of flavors. There's the amped up